You've been told to get motivated, hustle harder, and crush your goals. You've watched the videos, listened to podcasts, and maybe even taped a few inspirational quotes to your bathroom mirror. You've felt that rush, that incredible world-conquering high that says, this is it. This is the moment everything changes. And then, crickets. The fire fizzles out. The to-do list gathers dust. The new project stalls on page 1. And you're left with that familiar, sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach. The feeling that you failed. Again. But what if I told you that chasing that high of motivation is the very thing keeping you stuck? What if the whole way we think about getting motivated is a lie, not a deliberate evil scam, but a flawed approach that keeps you in a cycle of temporary excitement and permanent frustration? That feeling of not being motivated enough isn't a personal failure. It's the natural result of a system that is designed to fail. Today, we're going to expose why relying on this fleeting emotion is one of the biggest mistakes you can make for your productivity, your goals, and your sanity. And more importantly, I'm going to show you the alternative, the real key, the thing that actually works when the cheap high of motivation leaves you stranded. Let's be brutally honest. As Mel Robbins, a woman often labeled motivational speaker, famously said, motivation is garbage. It's a bold statement, but it's grounded in a reality we all experience. Why? Because motivation is a feeling, an emotion, and like all emotions, it's temporary, unreliable, and completely at the mercy of your mood, your energy levels, and whether you slept well last night. Relying on motivation to achieve your long-term goals is like trying to build a house on a foundation of sand. It feels powerful for a moment, but it's guaranteed to shift and crumble, leaving you with nothing but a mess. You wouldn't base your financial strategy on how you feel when you wake up, so why on earth would you base the strategy for your life on it? Let's look at the science for a second, right down to the wiring of our brains. That feeling we call motivation is largely driven by a neurotransmitter called dopamine. Dopamine isn't just a pleasure molecule. It's more accurately the pursuit molecule. It's released when you anticipate a reward, creating that drive to go get the thing. It's what lights up when you think about a promotion, a slice of cake, or a new notification on your phone. The problem is, this system is designed for short-term bursts, not the long, slow grind of meaningful goals. It's a chemical spike. Think of it like a sugar rush. You get a quick burst of energy, you feel fantastic, and then comes the inevitable crash. When you constantly seek out motivational content, a fiery speech, an intense video, you're basically giving yourself a huge dopamine hit. It feels good. It even feels productive. But you're not actually building anything. You're just riding a chemical roller coaster. Neuroscientists like Andrew Huberman explain that our goal should be to maintain a healthy baseline level of dopamine, not constantly chase peaks that create deep valleys. When you flood your brain with huge, unnatural spikes of external motivation, your brain compensates by lowering your baseline. This means, over time, you need an even bigger hit of inspiration just to feel normal, just to get started. You get caught in a cycle of dependency, and your drug of choice is hype. The motivation industry is a multi-billion-dollar machine built on this cycle. It sells you the feeling, the temporary high, knowing that when it wears off, you'll likely be back for another dose. It's a brilliant business model, but it's built on a flawed premise for the user. Here's a fundamental truth about our brains. They have a powerful bias towards safety and energy conservation. They want things to be easy. That ambitious project, that difficult conversation, that grueling workout, they represent a threat to your brain's comfort zone. Its default setting is to steer you away from them with roadblocks of hesitation, doubt, and fear. And it will use the absence of motivation as its number one excuse. Way to feel like it is a biological trap. You will almost never feel like doing the hard things that truly matter. Fired up, this is the week. You watch a video of some guys screaming at you to be a lion. You feel a surge of power. You map out a wildly ambitious plan. Wake up at 5 a.m. Work out, write 10 pages of your novel. Learn a new language and meditate, all before your first meeting. Monday is great. You're running on pure adrenaline. Tuesday is, okay, the energy is starting to dip. By Wednesday, you hit snooze. You skip the workout because you're sore. 10 pages become 2. By Friday, the whole plan is a wreck, and you're scrolling through your phone, looking for another hit of motivation to get you through the afternoon. Then the guilt hits, that corrosive, soul-crushing feeling that you failed. You think, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just stick with it? I must be lazy. This is productivity guilt, the shame and anxiety that bubbles up when you feel you aren't doing enough. It's that awful feeling when you try to rest, but your mind is screaming about all the things you should be doing. This guilt is a direct consequence of the motivation myth. You've been told that if you wanted it badly enough, you'd be motivated. So when a feeling disappears, the only logical conclusion is that you must not want enough, that the failure is a flaw in your character. You start chaining your self-worth to your output. A productive day means you're a good person. An unproductive day means you're a worthless failure. This is an incredibly dangerous and toxic way to live. And here's the kicker. This cycle is actually the opposite of what creates real, sustainable drive. Research clearly shows that genuinely motivated employees are around 20% more productive. And engaged teams can boost a company's productivity by over 40%. The problem isn't motivation itself. It's the toxic cycle of chasing the feeling instead of building the habits that create genuine, long-term drive. The guilt doesn't inspire you, it paralyzes you. You are not lazy. You are not broken. You are human. You've just been using the wrong strategy. You've been trying to power a transatlantic flight with a handful of firecrackers. The problem isn't you, it's the engine. You've been taught to rely on an emotional spark when what you really need is an engine that runs in any weather, regardless of how you feel. So if chasing motivation is a scam, what's the solution? If waiting to feel like it is the trap, how do we get out? The answer is surprisingly simple, though not always easy. It's the boring, unsexy, but incredibly powerful trio of discipline, habits, and systems. Think of it like this. Motivation is that flaky friend who only shows up when things are fun and easy. Discipline is a friend who shows up at 4 a.m. in a rainstorm to help you move, simply because they said they would. Who are you going to rely on to build your future? Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the engine that keeps chugging along when the spark is a distant memory. Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is a choice. It's the conscious decision to show up and do the work, whether you feel like it or not. It's about committing to the process, not just fantasizing about the prize. And the best way to make that choice easier is by building habits and systems. These are the structures that make your actions automatic. They reduce your reliance on willpower and emotion. They turn your goals from a question of, do I feel like it today, into a simple statement of, this is just what I do. It's time to stop trying to feel your way to success and start building your way there. It's time to construct an engine for your ambition. An anti-motivation machine that produces results on good days, bad days, and every single day in between. Building this machine doesn't require a personality transplant. It just requires a strategic shift in your approach, focusing on 4 core principles. This is your new playbook. Principle 1, discipline over decision. The heart of discipline isn't about forcing yourself through misery. It's about removing the daily decision. Think about brushing your teeth. Do you wake up and wonder if you feel motivated to brush your teeth? Do you search for an inspiring video about dental hygiene? No, you just do it. It's a non-negotiable. The decision was made long ago. The goal is to make your most important actions just as automatic. The most disciplined people don't have more willpower than you. They just have better structures. They protect their willpower by making daily progress a given. How do you start? Define your non-negotiables. What is the one action that, if you do it consistently, will move the needle? Not 10 things. 1. For a writer, it's writing 300 words. For an entrepreneur, making 1 sales call. For fitness, a 10-minute walk. Schedule that one thing. Decide ahead of time that it gets done no matter what. A great tool here is Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. The moment you have the instinct to act, count down from 5. 5-4-3-2-1 go, and launch you into action. Principle 2, habits as a concrete foundation. If discipline is a choice, habits are the automation of that choice. A habit is just a behavior you've repeated so many times it becomes second nature. Your job is to intentionally design the habits that serve your goals. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, has a genius framework for this. Make your desired habits obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. Let's say you want to write every day. Make it obvious. Leave your laptop on your desk, open to a blank page. The setup itself becomes a visual cue. Make it attractive. Pair it with something you love. Maybe you only let yourself drink your favorite coffee while you're writing. This is temptation bundling. Make it easy. This is the most important part. Don't try to write for 2 hours. Start with something so small, it's almost laughable. Write for 2 minutes. Write 1 paragraph. The goal isn't the outcome. It's to master the art of showing up. You can't improve a habit that doesn't exist. Make it satisfying. Give your brain a little reward. Put a big X on the calendar for every day you complete the habit. Don't break the chain. That small feeling of success reinforces a loop. Here's the secret. Action creates more motivation. Momentum itself is motivating. But notice the order. Action must come first. The feeling is a byproduct, not a prerequisite. Principle 3. Systems as a grand architecture. Habits are the bricks, but a system is the whole house. A system is just a collection of processes that work together to get you where you want to go reliably. Goals alone can be frustrating. You're in a constant state of not there yet until you hit the target. A system focuses on the process. You win every single time you follow the system. What does a system look like? Time blocking. Instead of to-do list, give every task a home in your calendar. You're not finding time, you're making time. The Pomodoro technique. Work in focused 25-minute sprints with 5-minute breaks. It makes huge tasks feel manageable and uses urgency to your advantage. The Ivy Lee method. At the end of each day, write down the 6 most important things for tomorrow in order of importance. The next day, start with number 1 and don't move to number 2 until it's done. This forces ruthless prioritization. Weekly reviews. Take 30 minutes each week to look at what worked and what didn't. Adjust the system. This is how it gets stronger over time. Your system is a structure that supports you when you feel weak and ensures you make progress even when inspiration is a no-show. Principle 4. Celebrate the process, not just a prize. This is a final mind shift. We're obsessed with outcomes, the promotion, the finish line, the published book. But tying your happiness to those distant goals is a recipe for misery. Instead, learn to get satisfaction from executing your system. Your win for the day isn't writing a perfect chapter. It's showing up and writing for 30 minutes. Your win isn't losing 20 pounds. It's getting your walk in. By rewarding the process, you get to feel successful every single day. You're teaching your brain that the work itself is the reward. This detaches your self-worth from your results. Some days will be great. Some will be a slog. But if success is just showing up and running the system, you can win every single day. And the funny thing is, when you focus on winning the process, the big outcomes tend to take care of themselves. If shifting from chasing motivation to building systems makes sense to you, and you want more strategies to design a life of discipline and structure, make sure you subscribe. We're just getting started on reclaiming our focus from the myths that hold us back. For years, you've been told a lie, that you should be a perpetually on machine, and if you don't feel motivated, you're somehow defective. It is time to reject that lie. Chasing motivation is a trap. It's a fleeting feeling, a chemical distraction from the real work. The real work is quieter. It's less glamorous. It's the daily decision to show up. It's the patient construction of a single habit. It's the thoughtful design of a system you can actually rely on. Discipline, habits, and systems at the bridge between your goals and your reality. Stop waiting for a lightning bolt of inspiration to strike. It's unreliable and leaves you powerless. Instead, go out and build your own power grid, one wire, one habit at a time. Build the engine that will carry you through any storm, long after the feeling has faded. Because the people who achieve their dreams aren't the most motivated. They are the most disciplined. They're the ones who decided that their actions would define them, not their emotions. And that is a power that is available to you starting right now. Stay strong, be focused, remain unbreakable,